You're going to need a bulky weight yarn. Any yarn is fine. For this pattern, I'm using the Bernat Softy yarn in the color Somerset. You're also going to need a tape measure in case you want to do this pattern for a child. I'll give you the measurement that the brim needs to be in order to do that. And you're going to need a scissor, a 6mm crochet hook, and a tapestry needle to weave in the ends when we're all done with the work. Okay, so let's set everything aside except for our hook and ball of yarn. And you're just gonna need one bulky yarn for this pattern. I know I didn't mention that before, but you're only gonna need one. We're barely gonna use all of it. So for the slip knot, you're gonna hold the yarn between your thumb and your index, and then you're going to wrap the yarn around your middle. Use your thumb and index to hold the other end, while using your middle to lift up the end of the yarn and pull knit through to form a loop. And you're going to tighten that loop around your crochet hook. Now you're going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3. Let me get some yarn loosen up. I'm gonna go 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And after you do that, you're going to half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So the loop on the needle counts as 1, then 2, and this is the third chain from the hook. That's where you're going to create your first half double crochet. You're going to do that by yarning over, insert your hook. Let me do that again because I didn't get all of the yarn. So the yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Let me get some more yarn, loosen up the ball a bit. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And you're going to do that for the rest of the chains. You're just gonna half double crochet until you've reached the end of your first chain row. So this is your last one coming up. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And you'll notice that you have 7 half double crochet created. And you count just to make sure that you are doing it correctly. So now we're going to move up to the next row where we're going to half double crochet in the back loops only. But first we're going to do our turning chain, and that's chaining 2 after we turn. And then we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the front loops only. So we're working in the front loop of our work. Sorry, my camera is out of focus sometimes for some reason. You can continue working in the front loops of your work. So here's a closer look. So that's the V, that's the back of the V, that's the front of the V, and that's where you're going to be working your half double crochet, in the front loop. Okay, so yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. up, messed that one up, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all three, and last one, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all three loops. And you could check by counting the V's on top to see if you have 7. Gonna turn again, and then we're going to chain 2. And we're gonna work into that first stitch, the front loops only. Sorry for my non-focusing camera. Need to figure out what's going on with that. So we're gonna finish this row, and you're gonna want to do 28 rows of half double crochets, and that will be the adult size. For a child size, which is 3 to 8 years old, I would say do about 25 rows, or 24 would be good, because when you do wash this yarn, it's going to stretch a little. So I say do 25 for a child hat. And this is what it'll start looking like. You'll have this cool little rib texture going on, and you'll be able to see it better if you use a non-floral yarn. But after you do 25 rows, you're going to single crochet the rows together to join. And then after that, you're going to chain 1 and then go around your work and single crochet all the way around. And you're going to form 41 single crochets all around the top portion of the beanie. As you can see, they're about a centimeter wide. And in order to create the right amount, like make it easier for yourself, you could separate your hat into maybe 4 sections with stitch markers, and then create 10 single crochets in each section and leave a space to create 1 more single crochet for your 41 single crochet. So now we're approaching the end of our single crochet on the top portion, and so after create our last single crochet, we're going to start working our special stitch right on top of the first single crochet that we created for the row. We're not going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. So that first red chain after that yellow that I'm holding, that's the last one that I'm pointing at. Then this red right here is the first single crochet we created, and we're gonna work our special stitch right into that. And what I should have said before was to place a stitch marker into that first single crochet if it's gonna be hard for you to identify it, and that will help you know where to stop and start our new row. So you're gonna remove that stitch marker, and you're gonna start the half double V, and that's done by yarning over, inserting your hook, pull up a loop, it's a little snug, yarn over, pull through all 3. You're gonna chain 1, yarn over, insert your hook, maybe you had to push a little, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And basically what you're doing is you're creating a half double crochet. You're going to chain one and then create another half double crochet, and you're going to skip a chain. So insert half double crochet, chain one, insert into that same one half double crochet, and then you're going to skip a single crochet stitch. Insert into the next half double crochet, chain one, half double crochet again. And you're just going to keep doing that around, and we're back at the beginning, and we're going to do the same thing in that last single crochet of the round. And since we're working around, you're gonna work your second row of special stitch right in between that first half double V that we created. So you're gonna half double crochet, chain one, and half double crochet in that same space again. And we're going to place our stitch marker in between the two half double crochets, and that will mark that that's our first half double crochet that we created, and our next one will be done right on top of that. That way we don't lose track of what rows we're working on. So we're at the end of the row again, and we're going to create one more half double crochet V in between that last one of the previous row, right there. And you can see that's the first one where our stitch marker is. So you're going to create that half double V right in there. Half double crochet, chain one, half double crochet in that same space, and then our third row is going to start right on top of that one in the space in between. And then we're going to place our stitch marker right back in that middle space, so that we know we just started a new row. Okay, and we're going to do this for 5 rounds. So we're going to have 5 rounds of half double double V stitch, and then we're going to do 2 rounds of half double crochet decrease. And you're going to do that by forming a half double crochet into that chain one space, and then you're going to half double crochet 2 together, and you're going to do that decrease by yarning over, insert into stitch. Then you're going to insert again into another stitch, pull up a loop, pull through all loops on hook. And you're going to alternate between half double crochets and a half double crochet decrease for this round, and then you're going to do one last decrease. And your hat should be forming this circle shape where your bun will go through. Then when you finish that second round of decrease, you're going to remove your stitch marker. You're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through that loop on your hook, take the end of your yarn and tighten that. And you cut about a 6-inch tail, and then you're going to weave in that tail. And that's your Messy Bun Beanie. And then, as I mentioned, for the child size, you'll do about 25 or 24 rows. and instead of doing 5 rounds of half double crochet V-stitch, you're going to do 4 rounds of half double crochet V-stitch and still do those 2 rounds of half double crochet decrease with 1 half double crochet and then a half double crochet decrease where you work 2 stitches together in a half double crochet. And that's pretty much it. So I'm weaving in my ends. I just try to mask it as much as possible.